Now during my last video impressions of the Honor 8X, I've asked you guys to tell me what you guys would like to know about the Honor 8X. So in this video, here's a full video review of everything that you guys need to know about the Honor 8X. Hey, what's up guys, Adam Lobo here and you're watching Adam Lobo TV. If you guys are new, it's an honor to meet you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel as I release high quality tech videos every single week, sometimes twice a week. And if you're returning as a subscriber, salute. Now first and foremost, I would like to give a high honor to Honor Malaysia for sending out this review unit. Now the unboxing process of the Honor 8X is super straightforward, where the box comes in a bright blue color. Now since this is a review unit, the retail packaging will come with a clear phone case and also the reset pin. And there is the USB-A to micro USB cable and the charging adapter. Now as for the internals, the Honor 8X is powered by the high silicon Kirin 710 chipset, which, just in case you guys do not know, that it offers better performance and gaming experience compared to the typical Snapdragon 660 found in other mid-range phones. Now the phone comes with 4 gigs of RAM with 128 gigs of storage. The Android 8.1 Oreo runs the show on this device, and of course with the EMUI 8.2 skin, which adds a boatload of features. Now there's two colors available here in Malaysia. There's black and then there's the one which is in blue, which I prefer since it has a more premium look to it. Now speaking of looking premium, looking at the physical traits of the phone definitely looks like a 2018 smartphone with a super high 91% screen to body ratio. There's a notch with an LED notification light which is a single color, so you got your answer, Mr. RHD. Now going back to talking about the notch, similar like previous release phones from Honor, you can always have the option to hide the notch if you want to. Now looking at the back, the camera is vertically arranged on the left side. There's even a band which is running across, which is apparently inspired by the classic camera with a brand at the bottom, which looks definitely very much unique and pretty amazing. Now all of the buttons are on the right hand side, where the volume rocker is right on top and the power button is down below, which is still my personal favorite position for all the buttons to have, as you can easily take photos with just one hand. And since the phone is a little bit on the bigger side, the fingerprint sensor is slightly placed on top at the back as well. Now at the bottom of the phone, you will have the usual suspects like the speaker grill, the micro USB charging port, and then there's the headphone spot. While it's great to see the headphones jack, but let's all look forward to a USB-C to be implemented in the near future. Now as for the phone's display, it has a 6.5-inch 1080p full view LCD display, and the video consumption experience on this device was really amazing, and I even managed to watch some great 29:9 ratio content on YouTube without any issues, without a notch interfering in the video. So that's your answer, Rohit Bakshi. And yes, Vatim Tagnim, the phone can play in Full HD+. Then there's even a neat little feature for the display where you can enable the eye comfort mode to adjust the temperature to maximize your eyes comfort throughout the day. Now as for the phone's camera, we're looking at a dual rear facing camera which has a 20 megapixel f1.8 and a 2 megapixel depth sensor that gives you perfect portrait mode shots. And as promised, during my first impressions video, I took lots of shots both in bright daylight and also during at night, and for my test, hands down, this is the best mid-range smartphone that I've tested, which had a super amazing details and sharpness to the daylight photos, where colors were really vibrant and the details of buildings and especially the sky almost look postcard-like with the built-in HDR and of course the AI features. And this is also because within the camera app, there's 22 different scenarios. For example, detecting a sky or a plant, which uses the AI to apply custom exposure and color corrections, which give you the best looking picture without needing to edit them after. And when it comes to the night shots, there's a cool night feature where once the mode is turned on, it will take multiple frames or shots within 5 seconds. Then the AI will then stitch all the photos together and you will get the best looking night picture. And as you guys can see, there's details on the color, building and even the sky during at night, which is usually unheard of for a phone within this range. And then the front-facing camera is a 16 megapixel f2.0 camera, and here's where I was really surprised with its results, as the pictures look great with or even without the portrait mode to really give a proper depth of field during the portrait shots. Now as for video, it records 1080p up to 60 frames per second. There isn't a built-in stabilization for video, but the video was decently stabilized, so that's for your question, recovery. And of course, there's a slow-mo and a super slow-mo built into the video camera app as well. Now in terms of the phone's performance, if you guys are familiar with the EMUI skin, you will definitely find the phone to be way more snappier when it comes to multitasking and your everyday usage. As for security, the fingerprint scanner was really fast, so was the face unlock as well. Now as for gaming, it has the gaming GPU turbo, so the experience was a breeze and games ran pretty much smooth during the whole entire gaming experience. And I gotta say that I really love the force vibration feedback that it gives when playing games, and even with a single speaker, the overall sound was pretty much loud. So yes, Nikhil, Anil, both the screen quality and the audio output was really great. Now in terms of the phone's battery, it has 3750 milliamps of battery, and I did a super thorough test throughout the whole week usage of the phone to test its battery life. And during one of my busiest day, firstly what I did was to intentionally leave the screen to automatic brightness. Started off my day with the 45 minutes YouTube consumption during my cardio session, and then I took lots and lots of pictures throughout the day and used Instagram stories, which is very well known to eat up your battery a lot. Then I had 47% at about 4 PM, 23% at 10 PM and 12% close to 1 AM. And once again, this is with the brightness of the phone at automatic and a super heavy use. Now with all these great features of the phone, what really blew me away during the launch of this phone was its amazing price. So to answer Bishal Sirchand's question, and yes Dan Akmal, you got your wish, that the phone is indeed below 1,200 ringgit, as it's only going for 949 ringgit here in Malaysia, which is about $222. So yes guys, there's absolutely no reason for you guys not to get this phone within the mid-range smart home market. Alright guys, thank you so much for your questions, and if you guys have any further questions about the phone, do let me know at the comment section below. And aside from that, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give this video a nice honest thumbs up. Like, share and subscribe to Adam Lobo TV if you haven't done so. Don't forget to hit the bell icon just next to it to get notified for my future videos. Thank you so much for watching. This is Adam Lobo, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.